Tom Harlan wiped the grease from his calloused hands on his faded jeans, staring at the battered toolbox bolted to the side of the ancient tractor. He'd haggled it down to $50 at the rural auction in rural Nebraska, figuring the rusty beast might still pull a plow or two on his struggling 5-acre plot. But now, as the late afternoon sun dipped low over the cornfields, casting long shadows across the gravel driveway, something glinted inside. A flicker of emerald green, sharp as a hawk's eye. He hesitated, heart picking up pace. Auctions like this one, out by the old grain elevator in Lincoln County, always promised junk with hidden potential. Tom was no stranger to that life. 42 years old, divorced 5 years back, scraping by on mechanic gigs and odd farmhand jobs. His ex took the house, he kept the debt. This tractor was his ticket to independence, or so he told himself as he drove it home on a flatbed truck borrowed from his buddy Earl. Now, toolbox latch stuck fast, he wedged a crowbar in. It popped open with a metallic groan. Inside, nestled among wrenches and oil cans, lay a fortune no red-blooded American ever dreamed of, in a scrap heap. Rubies winked like forbidden stars, sapphires pooled in deep blues. Diamonds scattered like forgotten raindrops on black velvet. Tom's breath caught. He reached in, jers brushing cool facets that hummed with impossible value. Experts would later appraise it at $180 million, smuggled heirlooms from some long-forgotten European vault hidden decades ago. But right then, in the dust-choked air of his overgrown yard, it felt like a trap snapping shut. If you're hooked on stories like this that uncover hidden worlds in everyday junk, hit that subscribe button right now. Smash the like. Share with a friend and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Maybe your own garage or halfway across the globe. Tom slammed the lid shut, pulse thundering in his ears. Who leaves this behind? The tractor's previous owner, a reclusive farmer named Elias Crow, had vanished years ago. No trace, just whispers in town about unpaid taxes and midnight hauls. Tom had heard the rumors at the auction. Crow bought the rig in the 70s from a shady importer, tinkered endlessly, then poof, gone. Locals shrugged it off as old man eccentricity. Tom backed away, scanning the empty road beyond his chain-link fence. Paranoia crept in. What if someone knew? What if eyes watched from the tree line? He dragged the tractor into his sagging barn, dutter creaking on unoiled hinges. Night fell fast in Nebraska summers, stars punching through the velvet sky like those gems demanded to be. Sleep evaded him. Tossing on a lumpy mattress, Tom replayed the D. Sell it quick. Hide it. Call the law. Each option twisted tighter. By dawn, resolve hardened. He'd verify first. No rushing into folly. Coffee black as tar. He snapped photos on his cracked phone, careful angles hiding the full trove. Then, online forums for appraisers, anonymous posts querying gem values without spilling his secret. Days blurred. Tom skipped shifts at the auto shop, claiming flu. Earl dropped by, eyeing the new toy with a whistle. $50? You rob a bank, Harlan? Tom laughed it off, gut churning. Inside, the toolbox mocked him from its shadowed corner. He pried samples loose, a single ruby the size of a walnut, sapphire like a frozen ocean wave. Mailed them discreetly to a gemologist in Omaha, return address faked. Waiting gnawed. Bills piled, power notice, truck payment overdue. Temptation whispered, pawn 1 stone, buy time. The appraiser's call came on a humid Thursday. These aren't replicas. Mr. Smith, the voice crackled using Tom's alias. Museum grade. Where'd you source 'em? Tom's mouth dried. Family heirlooms. Lie smooth as gravel. Value quoted, millions per stone. 180 total, if the rest matched. He hung up, knees weak. Wealth beyond dreams, yet chains tightened. IRS would claim half. Black market buyers lurked online. Usernames like Shadow Vault 13 probing chats. And Elias Crow's ghost, Town records showed liens on the farm, unsettled debts that might claw back the prize. Tom fortified. New locks on the barn, motion lights strung haphazard. Nights he pored over manifests, tracing the tractor's path from a 72 port in New Jersey. Whispers of wartime smuggling surfaced, nobles fleeing old regimes, gems stashed in machinery. Paranoia peaked when a black SUV idled too long at road's end. Coincidence? Or hunters scenting blood? He gripped a shotgun, legal but loaded with regret. This windfall wasn't freedom. It was a magnet for wolves. By week's end, decision loomed. Test the waters. Quiet auction house in Denver. Vetted contacts. Pack the toolbox under floorboards. Drive west at dusk. Highway hummed under tires. Radio static warning of storms ahead. Mirrors reflected nothing but endless plains. Then headlights flared in rear view, closing fast. Tom's jaw set. Game just began. The black SUV surged closer, its grille a snarling beast in the gathering twilight. Tom gripped the wheel tighter, the old pickup's engine groaning under the accelerator. Planes stretched in night, no turns, no mercy. Who were they? Auction buyers? Rivals who'd heard whispers? His foot mashed the pedal. 55, 60. The toolbox rattled in the bed, gems locked inside like a heartbeat he couldn't silence. Rain began speckling the windshield, wipers slapping erratic rhythm. SUV matched pace, dipping into his blind spot, then lunging forward. Tom's mind raced faster than the truck. Flashback hit. The farm auction, dust-choked field in rural Nebraska. He'd bid $50 on the rusted tractor, a whim to fix up for side gigs. Hauling hay, maybe plowing small plots. Toolbox pried open post-purchase. Leather case inside. Stones gleaming like captured stars, emeralds, sapphires, diamonds rough cut but flawless. Appraisers call later, 180 million, easy. His life flipped. Sold the tractor quick, cash in pocket, gems secured. But word leaked, always does in small towns. Headlights blinded now, horn blaring command to pull over. Tom swerved left, tires hydroplaning on slick asphalt. Heart hammered. No cops this far out. Storm clouds swallowed the moon. He grabbed his phone, one hand on wheel, dialing the only guy he trusted. Cousin Jack, ex-cop turned mechanic in Omaha. "They're on me," Tom barked into voicemail. Static crackled, signal dying. SUV rammed his bumper. Jolt shuddered through the frame, pickup fishtailed, gravel spitting. He downshifted hard, engine roaring protest, veered onto a dirt farm road, unmarked savior cutting through cornfields. SUV hesitated, then followed. High beams piercing the downpour like accusations, mud churned under tires, headlights bouncing wild. Tom's knuckles whitened. Think. Gems weighed nothing but crushed everything. Wife left years back, kids grown and distant. This windfall? Freedom or curse? He'd hidden most stones in a safe deposit box under a fake name, but the toolbox haul, prime cuts, sat too tempting to stash yet. Cornstalks whipped the sides, a green gauntlet. SUV struggled, wider frame bogging in muck. Tom pushed on, road narrowing to a rutted path. Minutes stretched eternal. Ally, lights faded behind. He killed the engine under a sagging barn roof, rain drumming overhead. Breath came ragged, pulled the toolbox close, gears tracing the latch. Inside, velvet pouch heavy with fortune, but trust no one. Not yet. Dawn crept grey over the horizon as Tom nursed the pickup into a dingy motel lot off I-80. Clark barely glanced up. Key slid across counter for cash. Room smelled of stale smoke and regret. He bolted the door, wedged chair under knob. Toolbox on the bed, gems spilled out under lamplight, each facet whispering promises of escape. Private jet? New identity? Or leverage against whoever hunted him? Shower ran hot, steam fogging mirror. Tom stared at his reflection. 48. Calloused hands, eyes hollow from night's terror. Regular guy no more. Dried off, dressed in fresh jeans from the truck. Phone buzzed. Jack Ally. "Tom, talk to me. Found something big. Too big. Chased last night. Black SUV, plates muddied. Pros. Jack paused, voice low. Get to Omaha, my shop. We'll fence smart, launder slow, no banks. Trust flickered. Jack knew auctions, knew values, but blood ties fray under millions. Tom packed gems, double-checked locks. Truck coughed alive outside. Highway called again, but detour first. Pawn shop in Lincoln for burner cash. Fake trail. Mid-morning traffic thickened, semis lumbering like guardians. Paranoia itched. Every sedan a threat. He spotted it at a gas station stop. Same SUV, 2 men pumping fuel, eyes scanning pumps. Coincidence? Never. Tom gassed quick, peeled out. They pursued anew, weaving lanes aggressive. Interstate blurred, speeds climbing 80. Tom called Jack live. They're back, closing. Evade! Exit 402, truck stop, I'll meet. Wind howled through cracked window. SUV tailed relentless, signaling intent. Tom feinted right, cut left across lanes. Horns wailed symphony. Off-ramp loomed. He braked sharp, gravel flying into lot packed with rigs. Ducked behind a tanker, engine off. SUV rocketed past, searching. Heart slowed fraction. Jack's truck pulled up minutes later, burly frame waving him over. Load it! We're gone! Toolbox transferred, hidden under seats. They merged into traffic, Jack driving steady. Stone's real show. Tom hesitated, then unzipped pouch. Jack's eyes widened, greedy glint betraying. Christ, partners, right? Tom nodded slow. Game deepened. Planes rolled on, storm scars drying. Millions burned hotter than trust. If this story's got you hooked on the edge of your seat, smash that subscribe button, share with a friend, and drop a comment. Where are you watching from? Let's keep the chase going. Jack veered onto backroads, farm country maze. Buyer lined up, discreet collector. Half now, half later. Tom's gut twisted. Half? Calculations spun. 90 mil split. Still life-changing. But Jack's glance lingered too long on the pouch. SUV rumors or inside job. Dusk fell again as they hit Omaha outskirts. Shop loomed industrial bays dark. Inside, third man waited. Lean, suited, briefcase ready. Verify. Gems weighed, appraised on spot. Numbers flashed. 180 confirmed. Briefcase swapped. Bundled cash, crisp and cold. Joy spiked, then crashed. Suited man smirked. Pleasure! Door rattled, headlights pierced windows. SUV. Jack paled. What the... Betrayal landed like a gut punch. Tom grabbed pouch remnants, dashed for back exit. Night swallowed him, cash heavy in pockets, planes endless witness. Game far from over. Jack's voice cracked into the empty barn, echoing off rusted beams. The UV light hummed faintly on the workbench, casting eerie purple glows on scattered pebbles that now screamed fortune. Tom's betrayal burned hotter than the Kansas summer sun. Jack's fists clenched around the tractor keys, heart slamming like a diesel engine. He couldn't let this slide, not after years of scraping by on wheat fields and odd jobs. Outside, the night air bit sharp, carrying the scent of dry earth and distant rain. Jack sprinted toward his battered pickup, gravel crunching under boots. Tom's taillights, none yet, but tracks led east across less plains. Jack floored the gas, headlights slicing through ink-black fields. Wind whipped through the open window, mind racing faster than the odometer. How much had Tom snatched? Enough to vanish forever? Jack's own pouch weighed heavy in his jacket. Half the verified stones, glowing like captured stars under that blacklight test from the county fair gadget he'd borrowed. Miles blurred, a flicker ahead. Tom's old Ford weaving on a dirt road. Jack's truck growled closer, high beams flashing warning. Tom's rig swerved, kicking up dust clouds that choked the stars. No words, just pursuit. Jack's knuckles whitened on the wheel. Tom had been his brother-in-arms since high school, sharing beers after harvest, fixing fences through blizzards. Greed twisted that bond into something feral. Tom's brake lights flared. He skidded into an abandoned grain silo lot, engine dying with a cough. Jack pulled up 20 yards back, killing his lights. Silence stretched, broken only by crickets and a coyote's distant howl. Tom's door creaked open. Footsteps crunched toward the shadows. "Tom!" Jack called, voice steady but edged like a plow blade. "We split it fair, you know that." A silhouette emerged near the silo, pouch glinting faintly in moonlight. Tom's laugh scraped low. "Fair? You hit the jackpot on my tip, Jack. That auction ad? I flagged it for you. We're even." Jack stepped out slow, hands visible. Plains wind tugged at his flannel, even means half, not running like a thief into the night. Tom shifted, boots scraping dirt. Something metallic clicked. Keys. A hidden blade, tension coiled tighter than barbed wire. Jack's eyes darted. No phone signal out here, miles from the nearest ranch. Just two men, a fortune's worth of fire opals and emeralds between them. "You think those rocks are clean?" Tom hissed, edging sideways. "Seller vanished years ago. Fed's been sniffed auctions like this. We cash 'em quick, or they own us." Jack froze. The Toolbox story replayed. $50 tractor from a dusty Nebraska sale, lid pried open to reveal velvet pouches. Amateur polish on the stones screamed black market, but under UV, hypnotic pulses of green and violet, appraisals whispering 9 figures. Tom's words landed like truth serum. Headlights pierced the dark from the west. Another vehicle. Jack's pulse spiked. Tom bolted first, vanishing behind the silo. Jack dove for cover as tires screeched closer. A black SUV, unmarked, doors flying open. 2 figures emerged, silhouettes barking orders. "Stay down!" one shouted, voice muffled. Jack's truck offered slim shield. Shots? No, just shouts. He glimpsed Tom's pouch drop in the scramble, stones scattering like fallen stars across gravel. The SUV men pursued Tom, leaving Jack unseen in shadow. Breath ragged, Jack scooped a handful. Cold, heavy promise. He backed toward his pickup, engine roaring to life. Planes swallowed the chaos as he peeled away south, toward the Oklahoma line. Trust shattered, but the game twisted anew. Allies or hunters, dawn crept over wheat waves, painting gold on his rear view. Hey, if this chase has you gripping your seat, smash that like button, subscribe for more heart-pounding Ds, and drop a comment. Where you watching from tonight? Jack ditched the main road at first light, veering onto forgotten farm paths. Dust trail minimal, mind-mapping escapes. Wichita appraiser. Too hot. Denver black market whispers. Risky. The stones in his pocket pulsed with possibility and peril. Tom's fate, unknown. But Jack's ordinary life ended with that tractor haul. Now, every shadow hid a rival. By noon, he hit a roadside motel, cash for a room under a fake name. Door locked, curtains drawn. He spread the gems on the bedspread. UV wand from his glove box, confirming worth. $90 million give or take, enough to buy the planes 10 times over. Phone buzzed. An old flip burner bought last town. Unknown number. Jack's thumb hovered. Answer and the web tightens. Ignore and paranoia festers. He answered, breathing on the line. Then, "Jack Harlan, we need to talk about the tractor." Ice in veins. How? The SUV crew? Feds? Or worse? Original owners. Ghosts from the Toolbox's past. "Who's this?" Jack demanded, voice gravel. "Friend of Tom's. He's singing already. Meet at the old windmill off Route 54. Come alone." Click. Plains wind rattled the window. Jack pocketed the stones, grabbed his keys. Betrayal's echo faded. Survival's drumbeat rose. The regular man was gone. A hunter emerged, fortune's blade in hand. Game far from over. Jack floored the accelerator, the old pickup coughing like a chain smoker as gravel spat from under the tires. Headlights sliced the midnight fog, rolling off the Iowa cornfields, turning endless rows into shadowy sentinels. Behind him, distant taillights flickered, those boys from the salvage yard, the ones who'd sold him the tractor with smirks too sharp for honest men. They'd followed him home, waited in the dark, eyes gleaming when he cracked open that rusted toolbox. Greed's whisper had turned to shouts. Now they hunted. The road twisted ahead, a black ribbon under a moonless sky. Jack's knuckles whitened on the wheel, the pouch of stones heavy against his thigh like a ticking pulse. Emeralds, sapphires, colors he'd only seen in pawnshop windows, now his edge in a game where trust was the first casualty. He'd played it straight at first, called the yard owner about the D. Dares keepers, he'd joked. The laugh on the other end had chilled him. By dawn, strangers prowled his driveway. A jolt rocked the truck. Pothole or pursuit? He glanced in the mirror. 2 sets of lights, closing. Heart hammering, Jack veered onto a dirt farm lane, cornstalks whipping the sides like accusatory jers. The Toolbox haul wasn't just luck. It was a curse wrapped in fortune. Legends swirled around old McDermott's tractor, the reclusive farmer who'd vanished decades ago, leaving whispers of hidden wealth from black market trades during the war. Jack had dismissed them as barstool tales. Until now. Sweat beaded his brow, despite the chill seeping through the cracked dash. He needed a plan, not panic. The nearest town, Harlan, was 20 miles east. Pawn shops shuttered, cops too slow. West led to endless fields, no witnesses. His mind raced through options. Ditch the truck, bury the stones, vanish like smoke. But vanishing meant starting over. Broke again, regular man scraping by on mechanic gigs and diner coffee. No, this was his shot at leverage. The pursuing truck surged closer, engine roar cutting the night. Jack swerved hard, fishtailing into a ditch's edge before clawing back. Dust clouds billowed, buying seconds. He yanked his phone, dead battery of course. Isolation's bite sank deeper. Memories flashed, his ex-wife's parting shot. You'll always be small time, Jack. Small time didn't pocket empires. Hey, if this edge-of-your-seat tale has you gripping your screen, smash that subscribe button. Share with a friend who'd chase this fortune and drop a comment. Where are you watching from? Let's build this community. Lights blinded his mirror now, high beams stabbing like accusations. A shotgun blast cracked the air, pellets peppering the tailgate, metal shrieking in protest. No crimson trails, just the acrid tang of fear. Jack downshifted, engine whining as he pushed toward an abandoned silo cluster looming ahead, silver ghosts in the gloom. Hide or fight? His free hand brushed the glove box. Crowbar, tire iron, crude but real. He skidded into the shadows, killing the engine. Silence crashed in, broken only by approaching gravel crunch. Footsteps, low mutters. 3 men, silhouettes against their headlights. Yard boss Hank, his burly nephew, and a wiry stranger with a glint of city polish. Professionals. Jack eased the door open, crouching low, stones transferred to his jacket's inner pocket. Breath steady now, Hunter's calm settling. Hank's voice boomed. Come on out, Harlan. We know what you got. Share the pie, no one gets hurt. Jack smirked in the dark. Pie. This was the whole bakery. He circled wide, corn rustling softly, positioning behind the lead truck, keys still in ignition, sloppy, tension coiled in his gut, a spring ready to snap. One chance. The wiry one split off, flashlight beam sweeping. Jack lunged silent as a shadow, tire iron swinging low. A muffled thud, then the man crumpled out cold. Hank spun, but Jack was already vaulting into the cab, slamming the door. Engine roared to life. Tires spun, spraying dirt as he barreled forward. Hank fired wild, the other dove aside. Bullets pinged harmlessly off the reinforced bumper, old farmer's rig, built tough. Jack clipped their truck's fender, sending it spinning into the silo with a metallic groan. Headlights shattered, darkness swallowing them. He didn't stop. Miles blurred, pulse sinking with the dashboard rattle. Dawn crept over the horizon, painting fields gold. First light revealed a sign. Des Moines, 40 miles. Bigger fish there, auctions, fences, men who moved stones without questions. But the rear view haunted him. Allies turned foes, whispers of more hunters. The yard crew would talk, words spread like prairie fire. Feds, collectors. Every mile tightened the noose. Jack gripped the wheel tighter. Regular man no more. Fortune's blade cut both ways, sharp enough to carve freedom or sever it clean. The game twisted onward, stakes climbing. He was in deep now, stones burning like promises unspoken. Survival demanded cunning, not heroes, and Jack Harlan had just learned to play dirty. Jack Harlan gripped the steering wheel of his rusted pickup. The toolbox bolted shut in the bed behind him. Night cloaked the back roads of rural Nebraska, cornfields whispering secrets to the wind. He'd fenced the first handful of stones through a shadowy contact in Omaha, enough emeralds and sapphires to clear his debts and buy a modest farm. But greed's shadow loomed larger now. Victor Kane, the fence's boss, wanted it all. A single text had escalated everything. Deliver by dawn, or your little town learns your windfall. Pulse-hammering, Jack veered onto a dirt track leading to an abandoned silo. Victor waited there, flanked by two enforcers, their silhouettes sharp under floodlights. No guns visible, Kane preferred leverage, whispers of federal eyes already circling high-value Ds. Jack killed the engine. Footsteps crunched gravel as he stepped out, toolbox chained to his wrist like a ball and chain. "You brought the rest?" Victor's voice slithered from the darkness, smooth as oiled leather. Tall, impeccably suited despite the mud. He lit a cigarette, ember glowing like a predator's eye. Jack nodded, sweat beading despite the chill. "All here, 180 million, give or take, but I keep 20%, fair split." Laughter echoed low. The enforcers shifted, hands in pockets. Victor exhaled smoke. "Fair? You stumbled on a fortune in a junkyard tractor. Now you're a player. Hand it over, Harlan. Walk away with enough to forget this night." Tension coiled tighter. Jack's mind raced. Memories of the auction house whispers. The gem expert's covert nod, confirming authenticity. He'd photographed everything, hidden duplicates in a safe deposit box under a false name. But Victor knew too much. A leak? Or just the game turning feral? Short breaths. Jack unchained the box, hefting it forward. "Open it yourself," Victor signaled. One enforcer lunged, too eager. Jack sidestepped, swinging the box like a battering ram. It connected with a thud, sending the man sprawling into the dirt. Chaos erupted. The second enforcer charged. Jack dodged, gravel biting his palms as he rolled. Victor barked orders, circling like a wolf. "You think you're clever?" Victor snarled, pulling a slim blade that caught the light. Not for show. Jack knew that glint, but Jack had planned dirtier. From his boot, he yanked a hidden canister, farm-grade corrosive, swiped from the tractor's underbelly. A flick and he sprayed. Victor howled, dropping the knife, clutching his face as the mist burned. The first enforcer groaned, rising slow. Jack smashed the box open on the ground. Stones spilled, glittering accusations. He scooped a fistful, bolted for the truck. Engine roared to life. Tires spun mud. Bullets. None. Victor played subtle, but pain slowed him. Jack fishtailed away, rear view swallowing the silo. Heart thundered for miles. Dawn broke over cornstalks as he ditched the pickup in a ravine, torching it clean. The remaining stones, 60 millions worth, went into vacuum-sealed bags, buried under his late father's oak on the old homestead. No banks, no flaunting. He'd sell piecemeal through encrypted channels, layers of proxies shielding him. Victor. Word spread fast in shadows, burned out, vanished from Omaha circuits. Jack's photos ensured silence, a mutual threat. Months blurred. Jack rebuilt quietly. A new tractor, acres planted, a simple life laced with vigilance. No mansions, no yachts, just freedom earned in grit. The fortune's fire dimmed to embers, warming without scorching. He sat on the porch one evening, soil under nails, watching fireflies dance. The game had twisted him, sharpened edges once blunt, but survival tasted sweeter than excess. If this tale of hidden fortunes kept you hooked till, smash that like button, subscribe for more cinematic twists, share with a friend who loves a good underdog gamble, and drop a comment. What's the craziest you've ever stumbled on? Your stories fuel the next one.